Hello and welcome to the channel Articulation Rex, where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. What we have going on today is the continuation of the Late to the Party campaign, meaning Beasts of the Mesozoic by Creative Beast Studios, and the Ceratopsian series. That's how it goes down with us. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Albertaceratops Mesozoic. So, yes, one of the larger offerings. This is wave 3, the final wave. And I've been going sporadic. I haven't been going in wave order. I'm acquiring these action figures as I go along, trying to mix and match and only spend a certain amount of money per order. So that requires some creative and strategic purchasing. And this is what we have going on right now. Albertaceratops looking good in packaging. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at that packaging. You see the sleeve there. It's got that beautiful artwork. As always, we've got the Beast of Mesozoic Ceratopsian series logo, 1/18 scale dinosaur action figures. Going around, as always, you've got the logo and the avatar of the Triceratops there. Then on the back, we have we see the action figures that are included with this particular wave. And of course, on the sleeve we have Albertaceratops Mesozoic Alberta horn face, and we have an illustration of the collectible card that comes with the figure, with that same beautiful artwork right there. And what we'll find on the back of this card is as follows: the length around 5.8 meters or 19 feet long, location Oldman Formation of Alberta, Canada, time period late Cretaceous, 77.5 million years ago. And then it's got this little read up: with its unusually large brow horns and otherwise centrosaurine-like skull, Albertaceratops was a contemporary of its close relative Mesozoic. Albertaceratops is one of the most basal centrosaurines and is known from a single complete skull. So they basically just extrapolated what they believe the rest of the animal looks like. That's crazy that they found a complete skull but nothing else. That's that's something else. Anyhow, looking at that sleeve, we've got the top there showing 20 points of articulation, realistic movement, and detail, and the profile card included. This is number 20 in the line. And pulling that sleeve off so you can see, we've seen this before. Well, by now we've seen all of the wave checklist, which is what this is on the back there. And looking pretty good. I've got the number 24 down there. Triceratops is in the pipeline. So best believe I'll be getting that. And then I believe the only one left from wave 3 that I need to get is the Pentaceratops. And that'll take care of wave 3. Yes, indeed. So there we go. Coming back to the front, get one final look of this majestic creature in all its glory, because he's about to come out of the packaging. Here's the aforementioned collectible card, which is included. You see that same artwork, beautiful. And of course, on the back we have the information, but this is the additional leaflet that comes that instructs on how to apply the tail, which comes separate from the body in packaging. This shows how to apply the tail using heat or hot water. And so that's how it goes down with that. The other piece of included material is a backdrop that comes with every figure, and so far they have not disappointed. This is once again beautiful. It's like a lake or even possibly a river. Looks like it's going around a bend there. So looking very nice. Then there's a mountain range over there. So very nice to use as a backdrop. And here we have our Albertaceratops. We get to see a 360-degree visual of the creature with that beautiful paint scheme, looking very, very nice, I have to say, as always. I'm still tripping from what I read on that the back of the informational card about the only thing we really have, the only piece of evidence we have this creature ever existed is a complete skull. And that's what's got me tripped out, is that we don't have the rest of the body, and we not only have a skull, but the skull is complete. What are the chances of that? I mean, the skull is complete, but we don't have anything else? That's crazy. But this is a very beautifully painted figure, and they basically just surmised what the rest of Albertaceratops looked like, and this is what we have. So let's get it off the stand and get a closer look to see what we got. Please like the video, and while you're down there, if you haven't done so already, subscribe, support the channel. I'm trying to get this built up very, very slowly. We are crawling, but we are still moving forward inexorably, a little at a time, and any support we get from you guys definitely helps. While you're doing that, I'll go briefly over the Albertaceratops by beasts of the Mesozoic. As with all of their creations, the figure is based on living, existing reptiles or amphibians. In this case, the Albertaceratops paint scheme is based on the black-faced lizard. That's where it gets its inspiration from. Of course, it's just a base, and they expand upon that, administering a little artistic license there, and they come up with what we see here, which is very nice. We're going to measure this critter, and what we have here from beak to tail tip. Gotta do a little bit more. We've got 14 inches here. Now, based on 1/18 scale, and you do the calculations, 14 inches comes out to about 21 feet. So this is a little bit larger than what Albertaceratops is purported to be. But once again, that's a straight up estimation because they don't have anything besides the skull to base it off of. And one thing we know about ceratopsians when it comes to their skulls, you can't be too sure about the rest of them if you don't have enough material. I mean, just look at Torosaurus, which has the largest skull out of all the ceratopsians, and it's around the same size as the in terms of length as the Triceratops. So what does that tell you? It's got a bigger head, so in order to come in at around the same size as a Triceratops, the body has to be smaller, right? If they're both 26 to 30 feet long, but its head is larger. The giving up of that mass has to come from somewhere. So it's a guess at best. So even though they're giving it a 19-foot long report in terms of its length, it could be larger for all we know, or smaller for all we know. It could be a smaller species with a very big head. We just don't know that. But it's all speculation. That's all part of the fun when it comes to prehistoric animals. Anyway, that's enough about that, going on and on about that. Let's talk a little bit about what we got here with our Albertaceratops. Getting a closer look at that skull. As always, the highlight with a ceratopsian. You see the paint scheme. It's basically the base is like a rustic type of orange. You see that there on the beak, and it's got some dry brush in there. Top of the beak, it's black, and there's a brushing there too, so you can see the scales. The scales are just standing out all over the place. You've got the that tan look on the beak, and it's also dry brushed out that way as well. You also have on the horns there very nice. They end the tips end in a black dry brushing. Looking at our Albertaceratops from the front, you see the design pattern on the frill. Looking at the frill, me moving back so you can see some more of that the ornamentation at the top of the frill there with the horns, and looks very, very nice there. We have patterns, different colors there, that orange, tan, we got black, we've got some blue there on the other side of the black, and some white dots slash striping. The eye is once again yellow with a black iris. The bottom of the mouth, you see that orange, and of course the tan there. Then looking at the back, we've got it's got like a dry brush of that orange, so you can see some of the scalation, and of course the tan and the black with the frill ornamentation, the tan of all of the spikes that are adorning the perimeter of the frill. And then of course going down into that neck, you see we've got that dark color and some orange design going in there with a slight darker dry brush in it to make the scales pop. Then you got the rest there, and look at all of that. We start off dark. We've got that rustic orange with some dry brushing to bring out those scales, the tan, and that rustic orange is going along the perimeter of that tan. Then you've got more of the dark, and of course you've got the orange-like spots. And then when you get further down, you see that it transforms. It goes into a brown. The black, it almost looks like it's it dripped down the way how it's patterned there. And then you've got that blue, that nice color blue there. The forearms, you see the spots tan with the blue, and then you go down, you got the black, pretty nice there. The toes are painted a light color in this instance because the feet are dark, so there's that contrast there. Then with the hind limb, you see what we got going on there, and it ends in a brown. You've got a nice wash over there to bring the scales out, and of course the toes are painted lightly, just like the forelimbs. Then going back, the tail, the back half of the animal, we've got it's like a tan, and the tail is tan primarily. You've got this nice striping there. I'll turn you up so you can see that. The tail ends in a kind of a triple ring. You've got this color there, which is like a grayish brown. Then it transforms into a dark brown, and it tapers off into an even darker color there. So pretty nice. Looking at the top, you see how that goes with the pattern there. Pretty nice. Turn to the other side, as always, you know, it's repeated on the other side there. Looks very nice. On the underside, as always, the underbelly is lighter than the rest of the animal. You've got some design there over there at the chest slash clavicle area, and we do have a cloaca in there, as you could see. And yeah, that is our Albertaceratops from beak to tail tip right there. In terms of the articulation, we'll start there once again with the mouth. Pretty good there. Let's see if there's a tongue in there that can be utilized. I don't. Oh yeah, there is. It does have a tongue, and the tongue is articulated. I think I just poked it out there so you can see the tongue in there. So finally, I catch the tongue on camera. So we've got that. The head is can move. You get left and right with the head, and a little up and down, but worked in unison with the neck. You can get some nice turning just like that, left and right. Oh, look how far up that goes. That's pretty nice. You can get it to go down somewhat, not as far down as on other figures, but still you can get something out of it. Of course, with the body, you get as always, you know, the twisting and the left and right. The forelimbs can rotate. They You've got articulation at the elbow, and of course at the we'll call it the wrist, up, down, side to side, and it can spin. And then of course, then once again at the elbow, it does swivel at the elbow, and they will splay out, as you can see right there. So as always, pretty decent articulation there. Hind limb, rotate. You've got articulation at the knee, and then at that we'll call it the ankle. You have it there. You have at that knee, it swivels, and the foot swivels as well. The ankle swivels as well, I should mention that. And you have some pivot, and it can go up and down, so that's pretty cool. And then tail, as always, up, down, left and right, and you could spin it if you so chose. And that is the articulation of our Albertaceratops. And of course, our new feature is to display our Beast of the Mesozoic action figure with a 1/18 scale or 3.75 inch action figure, human action figure, up against it, so we can get an idea of how truly large the size, the genuine size of these animals were. And of course, our test dummy, our model, is the vintage series Mandalorian from Hasbro, and as we had taken the measurements on this Albertaceratops, it's representative of a 21-foot long animal, so that's the size right there. And I must say, it's just astounding to me looking how large this beast is. And I think about Triceratops and Torosaurus out there. Absolutely astounding. And speaking of Torosaurus, may as well get that size comparison out of the way. And I still don't have all of him in frame there, so let me back off a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And so yeah, you saw we took the measurement of the Albertaceratops. That was 14 inches and representative of a 21-foot long animal. Look at the Torosaurus. It's these were some very large, very powerful animals, like the rhinos of the Mesozoic. And just so Albertaceratops doesn't feel some kind of way, we'll have him up against our previously reviewed Fans' Choice Medusaceratops. And since we're going in reverse in terms of size, here we have our Albertaceratops next to the Zuniceratops on our right, and in the center, Protoceratops. Here's our Albertaceratops utilizing that backdrop there. It's always pretty nice. You know, you could of course do a little bit better if you work with it and get it to encompass the whole frame for the picture, but I digress. And we'll take one more shot before we exit on out of here, utilizing the backdrop. And like I said, if you work it, you can cut out anything unwanted and have the entire backdrop or most of it in your frame, like so. So about our Albertaceratops, once again, Beast of the Mesozoic, Creative Beast Studios, Mr. David Silver had another winner. And I mean, I'm not even going to try to go crazy and expound. I've been doing it with every figure I've reviewed so far, and I haven't been disappointed yet, and I don't think I'm going to be. The coloration is excellent. The obviously it's got all the points of articulation. I managed to actually showcase the tongue articulation for a change, so that's a positive, that's a plus. And yeah, this is a pretty large figure, representative of a moderately large ceratopsian, the Albertaceratops. So that'll do it for the review, guys. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel, support. If you have any comments, leave them below. And if you want to be notified for the next time I upload a video, hit that bell while you're down there. And yeah, we're marching through. Late to the party, Ceratopsian series, Beast of the Mesozoic, Creative Beast Studios, Articulation. Take care, guys.